Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. In a three-dimensional world, you're in a meeting, sitting in a chair. Some of you are listening. It's your reality that you are listening with your ears. It doesn't matter where you are on the planet hearing this. Even those of you now hearing it later, it's still in the now for you later. It goes beyond information. There is a delivery of thought groups that represent more than information that is going on here. And I want you to know this and accept it and understand it as we get into the subject matter of the channel. When I say to you, I know who you are, it is such a statement of love that you would come to this place and sit for the duration. Drop into the core and just listen. Or you're not just listening. My message is for old souls at this time on the planet. And the message is the revelation of darkness. It's not a dark message. It's a message of congratulations, of explanation. More details, perhaps, than you wanted to know about things you would never want to know. But we cannot leave it alone. We approach this gently, as gentle as we can to a light worker, an old soul on the planet who's dealt nothing but high consciousness and love for most of their lives. Where do we begin? Have you looked at the news lately? Are there some surprises? And if you say, yes, there are some surprises, I will say to you, you weren't listening, were you? For 2 years, I have made statements for you that said crossing this bridge of recalibration is going to upset the balance of energy on the planet greatly. You are used to something called the scales of justice, and you have a figure that is represented by a scale and two platforms balanced on each side. It looks like a chemist scale that some of you know. So you are familiar with that metaphor. What you designed in that metaphor is balance, so that you would have them equal on both sides. I think you get the picture in your mind. For thousands of years, it hasn't been equal. Go slow, my partner. On one platform, there's what we will call dark consciousness. On one other platform, we'll call light consciousness. Now, I want you to see what we did not say. I did not say that on one platform there were evil spirits, dark ones, entities. I didn't say that. I said dark consciousness. On the other side, I didn't say there were angels and spirits, divas and leprechauns. I didn't say that. I said light consciousness. I'm teaching now. I want you to know the difference on all of these things. Now I want you to see the scales as they have existed for years, because the dark has outweighed the light. It's been out of balance, and you know that. So envision that scale right now, lopsided. And the dark consciousness side weighs heavy, and the light consciousness is not then up to snuff, as you would say. It does not equal it, and there is no balance. What are the odds that you would turn this around? 25 years, I have been telling you the scales are changing. 25 years ago, they started to change. The light became heavier in a good way. More of it, more quantum portions of it, more connection to the other side. The balance started to change, and it became equal. War stopped. Did you notice? Things actually got better on the planet. Did you notice? There were countries who tried to put themselves together instead of tearing them apart. Old enemies got the same currency. Did you notice? A whole new concept. The scales were equal. The battle had begun. 2012 came along. The precession of the equinoxes passed. The new calendars were applied. You made it. And we started talking about what's next. We started talking about planting the seeds. And in every channel we said that now the battle begins. I want to tell you something, light worker. When those scales started to turn, and they have, and now the light is then, I would say, predominant, it didn't just get heavier. Something had to happen to the dark consciousness. You had to eliminate it. Go back to the scale with me. Light did not become heavier in order for you to balance. What happened was that the light dismissed the dark. This made the scales start to change. The dark was losing its substance. Do you understand? And as the darkness lost its substance, the light started to then rebalance the scales in its favor. Now, if you look at the scales, the light is winning. You passed the marker. Now, we identified this marker as the wisdom barrier in West Virginia some weeks ago. I've instructed my partner to put this particular channeling online to read soon. You will be able to read what the wisdom barrier is, the benevolence factor is, what these things are that have started to change the energy consciousness of the planet. But don't forget what you've done. You've affected the dark consciousness. You poked it, and it's mad. You poked it, and it's mad. You took out a bat of light and swatted the nest. Are you hearing this? And it's in survival. Now, this is not new news. It is not new news. 2 years, we've told you, be ready for the dark. It will not give up without a battle. And now the battle is here. Now, dear ones, I'm going to tell you something we told you also in a channeling called Do Not Despair. There's too much information to give you in one channeling, in one sitting. I refer to other messages so that you will be able to understand them, reference them, and get the bigger picture. You're winning. And because you're winning, the dark consciousness is very angry. And they're pulling out everything they have. Let's look at it. Because it's all over the news. Are you shocked at the existence suddenly of the organization which we will remain unnamed? Where did it come from? Why is it so organized? How could it be so well funded? If you're not careful, they'll have their own country soon. They might as well name it Old Energy Dark Country. But that's what it will represent. The barbaric past of humanity comes forward to show its face. It's always been there. It's been hiding under the rocks, between the cracks. It couldn't show itself until now, and now it does. And it's ugly. It's not for the faint at heart, is it, Lightworker? To see evil personified in human action is abhorrent. You cannot look upon it with a gentle heart. It is so black and so ugly, and you know I'm right. You're winning. They would not be here in this mode of survival and strength, in this quickness. Where is the funding coming from? From a storehouse. It's always been there, dear ones. Generated from low consciousness acts. It didn't just appear, it has been stored, waiting to fund what they need in order to spread the darkness and save what they believe is the old energy balance of this planet, and they haven't got a chance. Meanwhile, it looks like they do, doesn't it? Everything that they are doing is calculated to scare you to death. Are they winning? Now that's a question I want you to take home. Fear is black. If you're in fear, there's no light. You can be the grandest light worker. You could be the channeler. And if you're in fear, it doesn't matter how many years you've done it, how much light you've accumulated, it all goes in the other room. And all you got is darkness. And they won. Do you understand this? The old soul, what you've been through is amazing. The old soul knows fear. I don't want to be too graphic, but I want to be graphic. What was it like when you put your head in the guillotine? Because you talked about God in a way that was not appropriate. What was it like when they lit the match at your feet? Soul, old soul, that's fear. You carry that in your Akash. I want to tell you, they haven't got a chance to scare you. You know what fear is. They haven't got it. They haven't got enough of it. You've been through it all. That means you've got the armor of truth and wisdom and light. And don't forget it.